ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. So we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita as it is, second chapter and verse number 17. So for 3-4 days we discussed from verse number 16, Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata, ubhayorapi dishtantas, tvanyas sattvadarshibhi. This material body is temporary, so one should not work hard just to take care of the demands of the body. Rather, one should be interested for working working for the eternal soul. So now, in this verse, verse number 17, Krishna is going to further elaborate on the Sat feature, means spirit soul, nature of the spirit soul, why it is so important. And then in the next verse, verse number 18, Krishna will uh, give some analysis over this material body, why one should not be so much bothered about this material, perishable material body, because it is antavanta mede. So in today's verse, Krishna says, Avinasi tu tadvidhi jena sarvam idam tatam vinasam abhyajasyasya nakashit kartum arhati. So Avinasi tu tadvidhi, that which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. So uh, this imperishable soul means this soul cannot be destroyed, and it pervades the entire body. Its presence is there within all over the body. So body is material and made up of dull matter, material elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. So on its own, the body has not got any kind of living symptoms. Dead matter has no living symptoms. But we find that all over the body we have living symptoms. All over the body we find there is growth. Growth is happening. Hairs are growing, and in any part of the body, if you pinch, you can feel, you can experience the pain, and you can experience the sensation. Sensation means if you touch any object from any part of your body, so you can feel the sensation. You can feel the pains and pleasures. That means you can feel the pains and pleasure from all over the body. So what does this mean? This means that, so although body which is made up of material elements, it hasn't got any living symptoms, but still, if we are able to feel the presence, these pains and pleasures all over the body, that means there is something within the body uh, which is providing the living consciousness, the living symptoms to the body, which is providing the living symptoms all over the body, and that something is completely different from this material body. Uh, just like there is this bulb, tube light. The tube light is there. So throughout the tube light, you get the light. So because of the presence of current. If you switch off, then there will be no light. Similarly, because of the presence of the soul within the body, the symptoms, living symptoms are manifested all over the body. But as soon as the soul leaves the body, there is no symptoms, no consciousness. The body is still lying there, all the organs, all the material elements are still there, but still there is no consciousness. So that's why in this verse, Krishna is telling that that which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. It is not destroyed, it is simply transferred from one body to another body. So, Avinasi, you should know it is in Avinasi, it cannot be destroyed. Even if the body is destroyed, it is not destroyed. You should know. Yena sarvam idam tatam, which pervades the entire body. So, what is that which pervades the entire body? Hmm. And that is actually consciousness. Anyone can understand this fact, very simple, that we are conscious of something, conscious of the feelings. Means feelings are there. We can experience pains and pleasures from any part of our body. That means consciousness is present all over the body. And consciousness is actually symptom of the soul. Just like when you light up a bulb within a dark room. So the bulb is situated in one corner of the room, but because of the light emanating from the bulb, entire room is lighted. Uh, so there is light all over the room. So, but the bulb is situated in one corner. So just as light, heat and light is the symptom of the presence of a bulb inside the room, or you can say heat and light is the energy of the bulb. Similarly, this presence of consciousness, we can feel the pains and pleasures within our body, in any part of our body. That proves that there must be some soul within the body. Otherwise, it is not possible. The body itself cannot produce the consciousness because body is made up of dull matters. So it cannot produce the consciousness in itself. But the consciousness is present all over the body. That proves that within the body somewhere the soul is situated, which is completely different from the body. And this consciousness, uh, feelings, this consciousness is a symptom of soul or energy of the soul. Just like bulb, light is the energy of the bulb, and because of this energy known as light, the entire room is lightened. Similarly, because of the energy of the soul, which is consciousness, the entire body is conscious. Entire body is this consciousness pervades the entire body, and so we can experience pains and pleasures. So this is another example is just like the sun. The sun globe, sun planet or sun is situated at one corner of the sky, and from there the sun emanates its heat and light to all over the universe. Uh, so heat and light which pervades the entire universe, or which gives the energy to the entire universe, is actually energy of the sun. So as soon as we can see this presence of heat and light, so we can understand that sun is there in the sky. Without sun, the heat and light cannot be there, because we know earth itself has not got any heat and light, or whatever energies resources we have got within the earth, it is the energy of the sun that we study in the science. Those who are science students, they know any form of the energy sources available on the earth, actually it is the transformation of energy from the sun. Because of the sun only, the energy is there on the earth. All kinds of energies, petroleum or for fossils, and water energy, nuclear energy, and light energy, wind energy, all kinds of sources of energy are because of the presence of the sun within the universe. And especially in the night, there is no sun. so there is darkness. But in the daytime, although we may not be able to see the sun present in the sky because of these clouds, but still one knows that because there is light, uh, this is daytime, no darkness, so there must be sun in the sky, but because of the presence of the cloud, I am unable to see it. So this is a logical interpretation. This is logical interpretation by which we can understand that the sun is present. Similarly, logical interpretations help us to know that although we are unable to detect or we are unable to see the presence of the soul with our instruments, because the soul is so very insignificant, so minute, that it cannot be seen or heard or smelled or tasted or touched by any kinds of material instrument, because it is completely spiritual. It is beyond sense perception. The senses cannot perceive the soul, but the symptom of the soul can be perceived. So, based on the symptoms of the soul, we can conclude that the soul is present. Hmm. As much as because of the symptom of the sun or energy of the sun, which is light, heat, and light. So, although the sun is covered over these clouds, so we cannot directly see the sun planet, but because of the presence of the light, we can understand that there must be sun, because light comes from sun. It is understood. It is general principle. So similarly, this body in itself hasn't got any kind of consciousness, because the body is made up of matter, earth, water, fire, air, ether. So all these kinds of material elements cannot produce living symptoms, because this is dull. All these five elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, are dull substances, no? Dull material elements. So it cannot produce life on in itself. So the presence of life or consciousness is because of the presence of the soul. So this is the direct conclusion or interpretation, even though we are unable to see the soul. So another important thing is, just like sun is situated in a particular in some corner of the sky, and from there it emanates its heat and light. It emanates its energy in the form of heat and light, which pervades the entire universe, lights up the entire universe, and provides and activates the entire universe. All the activities are going on in the universe because of the energy emanating from the sun in the form of heat and light. Although the sun is situated in one corner of the sky, sun need not to come to each and every corner of the universe. Simply its energy is sufficient. So this fact proves these two things. So one is that sun must be there, and the another thing is sun is a localized. Sun is not impersonal. It has got form. Hmm. So similarly, so the presence of feelings and experience within the body proves that there must be soul, which is completely beyond, transcendental to the material elements. Because material elements, is actually uh, dull. It has not got any consciousness. So any amount of permutation combination of material elements cannot actually produce life. It is completely illogical idea. Those who think that that combination of material elements can produce life, this is impossible. This is not logical. This is not reasonable. Uh, so life doesn't come from chemicals. Life only can only come from life. Life comes from life. This is a fact. Srila Prabhupada, based on conversation of Prabhupada, there is one book also. You can read this book, Life Comes from Life. Very, very nice, very beautifully. Srila Prabhupada has analyzed these things with a scientist, his scientist disciple, Dr. T.D. Singh. Later, he was known as His Holiness Bhakti Sarup Damodar Maharaj. So, with his conversation with this his scientist disciple, Srila Prabhupada proves very analytically that life comes from life. Life doesn't come from chemical. And we know where is proof. Nowhere we can find that life has produced, chemical has produced life, but life has produced so many life. If chemicals can produce life, then we must be able to produce life in our laboratory. That's not possible. So, although medical science has advanced so much that they know the process of this, how the child within the womb develops, what are the elements involved, everything they know, but still they cannot produce a child. What to speak of human child? They cannot even produce a smallest ant within their laboratory. That is not possible. They can make the body of an ant, they can make the body of a human being, just like they are making humanoids. But actually, there is no life. They cannot produce the life, they cannot give life to that ant or that humanoid, human body. So they are producing, they are manufacturing humanoids, robots, who exactly looks like human beings and who may act also like human beings, but everyone knows that it's just a machine, it's just a robot. It hasn't got any life, living symptoms, it hasn't got any emotions, any feelings. The humanoid doesn't know emotions, feelings, love, hatred, liking, disliking. No, anybody can understand. It is all just coded. So this is the proof that life, when living symptoms are manifested, so this is not because of the chemical combination. Uh, chemical combinations cannot produce life. So that is why it is the conclusion. It is a very logical conclusion that if any body exhibits living symptoms, then the direct conclusion is it must have some soul. It is because of the presence of the soul that it is exhibiting consciousness or living symptom. Uh, so this is one important conclusion. And another important conclusion is that the living symptoms are exhibited from all over the body, but the source of the living symptom, which is soul, that source of the living symptom, soul, is not impersonal. Impersonal means it has got no form. Those who think that the soul has got no form, that is impersonal conception. But this is also incorrect. The soul has got its form. The soul is not formless. Soul is not formless. Soul has got form. Just like this energy, heat and light is the energy of the sun, but sun has got form, localized. It is localized in the some corner of the sky, and from there it is emanating its energy. This also can be understood by anybody that energy cannot act independently. There must be some energetic or the controller of the energy which has got form which can control and produce energy. Just like a business person who has got multiple branches all over the world. So, so although he may be sitting in one of the offices, some head office, branch office. He may be sitting at one corner, but from there he can direct, he can control all the branches of his company with his instructions, with his power, he can control. So, in order to have control over all the branches, it is not required that the controller must be also impersonal, or it should not have any form. It should be present all over the branches. It should be all pervading. It's not required because being a person, he can be controller, and he can control with his words, instructions, and his with the help of his agents present in each and every branches of his company. Similarly, God also, the Supreme Lord, he is also not impersonal. He has also got a form. He is also present at a particular place, and from there he can control all over the universe. He can control each and every object, each and every person within the universe uh, with the help of his energy. So he has got multifarious energy, unlimited potential. The Lord has got. पराश्य शक्तिर विविधाय श्रूयते स्वभाविकी ज्ञान बल क्रिया च न तस्य कार्यम करणम च विद्यते स्वभाविकी पराश्य शक्तिर विविधाय श्रूयते न tasya karanam karanam cha vidyate. So although the Supreme Lord is controlling everything, but still he has nothing to do with the work. He does not require to do any work personally, but still everything is under his control. How? Because he has got multifarious energies. He has got unlimited potential. So through his potencies, he controls everything, but personally he doesn't do any activity directly. So that's why the Lord, Supreme Lord, is also a person, personality. He has got his personality, and he lives. He is present at one particular place, and from there, using his energy, he can control the entire universe. As much as owner of the company, although he is a person, he may be present at one particular place, but through his energies, agents, his secretaries, uh, managers, he can have control over all of his branches. So this is very much clear. Similarly, regarding soul, so although the soul is present at one corner of the body, and that is heart. Soul is present at the region of heart, and from there the soul can produce its energy, which can pervade the entire body. That's why Krishna is saying, Avinasi tu tad vidhi, Jena sarvam idam tatam. Sarvam means all over, idam means this body, tatam. So the energy of the soul, which is consciousness, pervades the entire body. And such kind of consciousness, vinasam abhyayasya na kashit kartum arhati. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Nobody can destroy the soul, and also nobody can destroy the consciousness of the soul. But at the time of death, what happens? The soul, along with its energy, consciousness, just it leaves the body and goes to another body. Just like the sun. When sun has risen in the sky, so because of the presence of the sun, there is heat and light. So nobody has got the power either to destroy the sun or to destroy the heat and light. Uh, but as soon as sun moves, sun leaves this planet or country, and so there is night. So along with the sun, the heat and light also goes away. Similarly, as soon as the soul leaves the body, so along with the soul, the consciousness, the feelings which are present all over the body, because of which one can have this sensation, one can sense the pains and pleasure. That energy known as consciousness also leaves the body along with the soul, because this energy is this consciousness is actually energy of the soul. So it is always subordinate to the soul. It is dependent upon the soul. So another important point regarding this verse. So those who are impersonalist or Mayavadis or Nirakarvadi, Brahmavadi, they misunderstand this text. When Krishna is saying, Avinasi tu tadvidya, Arjuna, you should know that that which pervades the entire body, it is indestructible. So Krishna is mentioning about Yena means by which, Yena means by whom or by which, the soul, Sarvam idam tatam. By the soul, this entire body is pervaded. That means entire body is made conscious because of the soul. So that is the meaning Krishna is telling in this particular verse. But unfortunately, those whose intelligence is polluted, they misunderstand it, and they say that in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 17 number verse, it is said that which is the soul which is present within the body, that means we are yena sarvamidam tatam, which pervades the entire universe. That our consciousness is pervaded all over the universe. So we are actually one with the universe. This is their greatest misconception. And with this, they try to conclude, or they try to give this propagate this false philosophy that ultimately everyone becomes one with the Supreme Lord. and ultimately they say everyone is Narayana because everyone's consciousness is spread all over the universe. But this is not true. In this verse, the second line, Jena Sarvam Idam Tatam, Idam here, Idam refers to this body, not to the Idam, this universe. Krishna is not referring to, not telling Idam means this universe, but Krishna is telling Idam means this body. This anybody can understand. But unfortunately, those who are uh, ill, those fortune is not good, they misunderstand. They say, Bhagavad Gita says. So, but we should also use our intelligence and try to understand it logically. That if our consciousness uh, is spread all over the universe, can we feel anything beyond our body? Can I know right now, all those students who are attending these classes, what are you thinking? I cannot know. I don't even know who all are you listening to this lecture. That means listening means hearing from ears. So I can only understand whether I am hearing or not. I can understand for myself uh, whether I am hearing or not. But I cannot understand about all of you whether you are hearing or not. That means my consciousness is not spread all over the universe because I cannot understand beyond my body. So this is very logical. We can only understand or know the pains and pleasures of our own body. We cannot understand the pains and pleasures of other bodies. But Krishna's consciousness, the super soul, just like soul has got consciousness which is spread over this body. Similarly, Krishna has also got consciousness, but his consciousness, because he is super soul, his consciousness is spread all over the universe. So she can know whatever is happening in any corner of the universe. He can experience, feel the pains and pleasures of each and every body. Uh, But we, being the minute soul, we can only experience or feel pains and pleasures of our own body. That's all. So this is very logical and understandable. So we'll discuss more about this verse tomorrow after reading purport. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, any question? Yes, Ankita Madani.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, this topic, soul, is very complicatedly taken by everyone. Means like they have different perspective. So for soul, just want to know one first thing, like वो मायावादी वाला जो concept है that every soul got submerged into one. So where this soul goes after leaving this body, means do it have any spiritual body किस form में रहता है and क्या उसका होता है?
So
That
that
want to
depends
know.
upon the activities one performs in this particular life, the kind of consciousness one develops when living in the body. So actually, soul is so minute. The spirit, soul is so minute, insignificant that it hasn't got any power to transfer himself alone to one from one body to another body. So the subtle body, sukshma sarir, subtle body means specifically the mind. Mind actually becomes the vehicle upon which the soul rides and goes to another body. So the kind of mentality we develop while living in this world by performing what any kind of activity, so that kind of mentality helps the soul to get transferred to that particular body which is suitable for that particular mentality. For example, if somebody develops the mentality of an animal, so then the soul is transferred to that particular suitable body, animal kind of body. So the mentality, this is the mechanism of transmigration of soul from one body to another body. And Krishna explains this in 8th chapter. He says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejante kalevaram tam 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 veti konteya sada tad bhava bhavita. So at the time of death means when the soul is prepared to leave this body, at that time, whatever kind of mentality one has acquired, the similar kind of body one is sure to get. If one has developed the mentality like a dog, that then he will get the body of a dog. If somebody has developed the mentality of a cat, he will get the body of a cat. Somebody has developed the mentality of a tiger or tree, similarly, he will get that kind of body. If somebody has developed the mentality of a demigod, he will get the body of a demigod. If somebody has developed the mentality, consciousness, like spiritual, Krishna consciousness, then he is promoted to the spiritual world and he gets the spiritual body. This is the principle. Okay. Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, as you said that it is imperishable. So, means for Krishna, nothing is impossible. So, is it possible that it can clean the soul also, means banish the soul also from existence?
No, soul cannot be killed. So that's not possible because that is against the nature of the soul. The nature of the soul is Sachidanand. Sat means eternal. So anything which can be destroyed, then that means it is not soul. The
As we
moment
are part of
soul,
Krishna, so we cannot be destroyed, no? We can understand.
yes. So the moment if a soul is killed, that very moment the soul doesn't remain a soul. It becomes a material element because that is the constitutional position of the soul that it never gets destroyed.
Means like you said, like the sun is enlightening the earth. So earth it's not have its own light, right? So do body have like soul enlightening the body? So there are more bacterias inside us. So they are also the souls. Means they can also taken as a soul,
Bacteria,
different souls.
bacteria, bacteria is also they have also got a body, material body, and within that body, their soul, particular soul lives, and that soul's means can only produce consciousness limited to that body. That soul hasn't got any. That is what I at the last I discussed. That one particular soul within the body, its consciousness is pervaded all over that particular body. It's not beyond jurisdiction of this body. It is limited consciousness. So bacteria, so the soul which is present within the body of the bacteria, it has consciousness spread only within the body of that particular bacteria, not to our body or not to other bacteria. So each and every bacteria or each and every body has got its particular soul, and that is its real identity. Okay.
Sankritam.
Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि अम, जे मतलब जब हम स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में आगे बढ़ते हैं तो हमें सबसे पहले यही बताया जाता है कि कृष्णा भगवान है, हमें उन्हें अपने स्वामी के रूप में सबसे पहले देखना होता है। तो क्या प्रभु जी कुछ ऐसे भजन जो कृष्ण को या राम को नॉर्मल इंसान के जैसे डिपिक्ट करते हैं तो दर्शाते हैं, तो क्या हमें उन भजन को सुनना
नहीं,
चाहिए या नहीं?
नहीं सुनना चाहिए, नहीं गाना चाहिए, नहीं सुनना चाहिए। और उन भजनों को भी अवॉइड करना चाहिए जो अभक्तों के द्वारा बनाए गए, गाए गए, भले उसमें भगवान के रूप में ही क्यों न स्वीकार किया गया हो। इफ इट इज रिटन बाय अ नॉन डिवोटी, दैट शुड ऑल्सो नॉट बी सिंग। और if suppose if some Vaishnav bhajan which is proper written by proper Vaishnav devotee, but if it is sung by a non-devotee, that should also not be heard. Just like there are many recitations of Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is supreme glorification of Krishna, but many non-devotees they have recited Bhagavatam. So we should not hear those. We should only hear those bhajans or those recitations or those Krishna Kathas classes which are written by, composed by devotees and which are sung by or chanted by devotees. Okay. Otherwise,
ओके प्रभु जी,
it acts like a poison for the listeners. Okay. Hare Krishna.
ओके।